We're here with Noel Thomas, a Norwalk, Connecticut native who had a great four-year career at UConn, finished his senior season with 100 receptions and over 1,200 yards from scrimmage. He's also generating some very serious draft interest. Noel, thanks so much for taking the time.
How's it going? I'm happy to be doing this interview.
I'm doing very well, thanks. So you actually graduated college early, and
Yes.
so you've been done since December. Tell us about your life. What have you been up to since then?
Yeah, I mean, I got my degree in communications. Ever since then, I've been in Atlanta training at Chip Smith Performance Systems, doing a lot of combine training and position work, and just trying to get better every day.
So you've got the combine coming up at the end of this month. Any specific goals that you have for your performance there?
Obviously, I want to run fast, and by fast I mean 4.4, mid to low 4.4, and I think that's attainable.
Have you been prepped on kind of, it seems like we hear every year there's a couple of silly draft questions that come up, or they get very, very personal in the interview process. Are you expecting anything like that to come up?
Yeah, I mean, I know one question is could be are you a dog guy or a cat guy? But I'm pretty well prepared for the interviews, and I'm not worried about that aspect.
Is there a particular aspect of your game that you've been working on the most to improve since starting to kind of focus on the draft full time?
Yeah, I mean, really focusing on getting in and out of my breaks as fast as possible, because at the next level, everybody breaks on the ball very fast. So I want to get that edge on defenders and getting out of there really fast.
What do you feel like your strengths are that you bring as a wide receiver at the next level?
I think I'm sure-handed. I'm pretty much going to catch everything that's thrown to me, and I hope my game reflects that.
Have you had a chance to speak with some of the guys, particularly recent ones from UConn, who are playing in the NFL right now? Anyone in particular who you've been in touch with a lot?
Yeah, actually Andrew Adams is training at Chip Smith too, so we actually had lunch yesterday. But I talk to Jeremy Davis every day. We're actually we play 8-ball pool on iPhone every day. He hasn't beaten me yet.
All right. Have you asked him about kind of what's the big difference between playing wide receiver in college versus at the NFL level?
Yeah, it's like I said, everybody's fast. And the biggest difference is the game speed. But you're gonna have you have quarterbacks who get you the ball, and they expect you to know what you're doing, and know exactly where to be, and just gaining that trust factor with the QB is going to be huge.
So you mentioned we talked about this a little bit before. You're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yes, sir.
So what happens if a team that is a division rival or someone really, really hated, like the Eagles or something, ends up drafting you? What's that going to feel like?
That I'm an Eagles fan. Yeah, I mean, I've growing up, I've always been a Cowboys fan, but wherever I go, I'm gonna be a new fan of that team.
Well, it must have been really interesting then to see, as a Cowboys fan, see someone like Byron Jones, a former teammate of yours, be a first-round pick of theirs. Has that been encouraging to see guys like Andrew Adams and Byron Jones have experienced really a lot of success at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, and their stories are totally opposite too. It's funny. I was just telling Andrew yesterday, he's literally a success story, undrafted, and he's starting for the New York Giants. But Byron being drafted to the Cowboys, that's phenomenal. First round too, from the same with a guy that I played against. That's awesome.
Are there any guys currently in the NFL who you are modeling your game after, or you try to emulate the way they do a certain thing on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I like watching the best. So I like watching Antonio Brown. With the ball in his hands, Odell Beckham, I love watching his play. And then obviously I'm a Cowboys fan. I like watching Des Bryant, the way he uses his body to get open.
So we're I guess maybe about a month and a half or so into the pre-draft process, if you will. Obviously a time where things can get very, very silly, in terms of talking about cat or dog person, or evaluating your body fat and all that stuff. What has been the most surprising thing to you so far about the pre-draft process?
This is all really new to me, so I don't know if anything has been like a big surprise, but just about how many different scouts there are for different teams. Like when I went to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, I mean, you have a ton of guys for all 32 teams out there, just asking you questions if they're interested, and it's had like a 500 question questionnaire. It's just
Oh
the
wow.
process is it's an interesting process. So I'm just trying to take it all in.
Cool. And so you've got the combine coming up end of February, beginning of March, and then what do you anticipate happening between kind of the combine and the draft in terms of your schedule? Is that workouts with teams, interviews with teams, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, after the combine, I'll probably go back to Atlanta for maybe a week or so, but then go back home and train for probably about 2 weeks before my pro day, because my pro day is March
All right.
22nd. But after pro day, I'm going through this process just like you. I'm new to this, so I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out soon what exactly I'm gonna be doing.
Do you feel kind of a special responsibility or connection when it comes to being somebody from Connecticut, a place where people don't really think about high level football talent coming from? Though we are seeing that change in the past couple of years, but is that kind of something that you feel particularly proud of, to come from a place where maybe there's some very underrated talent?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, CT players get overlooked all the time. As you said, that is starting to change, rightfully so. But it's definitely a motivator for me. It's I want to make the city proud, Norwalk. My school. I mean, I went to a small school. People probably never even heard of St. Luke's, but I'm trying to change that. So yeah.
I've heard of St. Luke's. I used to actually play against them a long, long time ago, but that's ancient history at this point. Well, there is somebody from St. Luke's heading to UConn, so
Yes, sir.
keeping
Yes,
that
sir.
pipeline alive and well, which is great. I know you know and that's Omar Fort,
Yep.
defensive back heading up to UConn. He's actually already at UConn. What can you tell us about Omar Fort? I know he played for your father there, and
Yep.
obviously somebody who you met with while he made his visit to UConn.
Yeah. I mean, if you get a first look at Omar, you wouldn't even expect him to be a freshman. He's physically developed, and he's a hard worker. He's gonna play. He's definitely gonna ball and give 100% effort at all times. And he's a high character kid. He's fun to be around, kind of like me, honestly.
Well, certainly hard to disagree with that. I mean, yeah, I've been watching Omar for the past 2 or so years and seen him. He really got big, in
Yeah,
the in those past 2 years. He really did a good job. So I think that's somebody who's going to be a really great player for UConn down the road. What were you following the what was going on around UConn for National Signing Day? Was that something? I know you were on your way out, obviously, but was that something that was of interest to you?
yeah. I mean, I'm on Twitter. I see the tweets, and I saw the signing class. I feel like the new coaching staff they did a good job with the signees and getting guys, because I know that's a tough process as a recruit. Being in high school, when you go through a coaching change like that, it's hard to stay committed to a school or be a new commit to that school. So I think they did a good job.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with 1 month to work with, effectively, definitely a pretty impressive job by the new head coaching staff. So looking ahead to next year's team, obviously there was so much around the coaching change, and we're not even going to open up that can of worms. But uh, you obviously were in practice with all of these, a lot of the remaining players every single day around these guys. Would love to hear your thoughts on who are some younger guys maybe poised to break out in 2017, who maybe some of the fans don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's kind of obvious, but Herji Mayala is gonna have a great year. Um, Physical guy. He's definitely gonna step into that leadership role as a receiver. But Tariq Bills, I heard you might have to watch out. He's an explosive receiver. I know fans seen flashes of it throughout his career, but he's gonna break out this season. I know for a fact. Defensively, I mean, always has a solid defense, and those guys work hard. They're all gonna be working hard and really trying to win. But I think I'm biased receiver. I'm gonna say Herji Mayala and Tariq Bills. But Q too, Quavon, he's
Hmm.
dang, and Keon. All the receivers are gonna have a great year. I'm thinking about it now. They're loaded. The receivers are loaded.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent at the skill positions on this UConn team. Obviously, losing a Noel Thomas is always very difficult, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of receiver talent to be excited about, the tight ends, and then
Oh yeah,
of course, Markel
you could,
Newsome approaching his senior year. So
yeah, dang, yeah. I mean, I'm looking back at it. I mean, it should be a really fun year offensively. It should be definitely a fun year.
anything else that you'd want to talk about? Tell UConn fans anything like that?
I mean, I miss playing at UConn, and I really hope they do well this year, and I'm pretty sure they will.
No, I guess that's going to do it for us. We don't really have anything else, but thank you so much for your time. Hope we can stay in touch across the draft process, and wishing you the best of luck in your workouts, and then hoping you get that low 4.4 in the combine.
Sir, thank you for talking to me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.